You are listening to the Life in Attleboro podcast, where we interview the city's most interesting people who are making a positive difference in our community. Hey everyone, I'm the host of the Life in Attleboro podcast, Mike Sullivan, and today we are bringing you a very cool interview with Mayor Cathleen DeSimone. Did you know the mayor used to work on the back of a garbage truck? She tells me why she's thankful for that. We also talked about The Walking Dead filming right here in our city, what she's most excited about for the rest of this year and into 2025, and why she admits tough times could be ahead. Enjoy our conversation with Mayor Cathleen DeSimone. Okay, Mayor, thank you again for joining me. I know you have a very busy schedule, so I appreciate you sharing this time with us. I want to ask you a few questions, and this is all about just getting to know our mayor even more than we do. We see you out in the community all the time, but for people who don't know you or who want to know you better, here we go. So, first question, your background story, where you come from, what your family looks like.
Sure. Thank you, Mike. First of all, thank you for having me. This is a super cool idea. I'm a big fan of listening to podcasts, so I appreciate the opportunity and the conversation. I am a native Rhode Islander. I grew up in Warwick, Rhode Island. I went to University of Rhode Island. Then I went to Roger Williams Law School. And when I was in my third year of law school, I got a job with the United States Immigration Service as a trial attorney. So at the JFK in Boston. So I was in Providence, commuting on the train to Boston every day with my partner, Laura, who was at that time also working in Boston. And we decided to look for a house. And we came to Attleboro for a couple of reasons. My sister lived in the city, and also because the commuter rail was here. So we moved to Attleboro. We could afford a home here at the time. And we just changed the train station from South Attleboro to downtown station and kept going. So I worked for the Immigration Service for 4 years, left there, went into private practice, did some immigration work in private practice. And then we had kids, and I decided to stay home with my kids for the first 7 or 8 years, which is by far the hardest thing I've ever done. And as the kids got older, I wanted to return to work. I had paid off my law school loan, so I was kind of free to make different choices. So I went back to work teaching ESOL classes to non-native English speakers at the Literacy Center, which is a great downtown nonprofit. And I so thoroughly enjoyed working with adults because it's not just teaching people, it's learning about people and their experience and their cultures, and they were warm, and it was amazing. So I went from the Literacy Center and continued teaching adults at the Adult Basic Ed program at Bristol Community College here in Attleboro, right? So I did that for several years, helping people get their GED or high school equivalency. Then I transitioned from BCC to a director administrator level position at Bridgewater State University, also in the Attleboro office. Still, again, working with that same population of adults who may have started college and left and wanted to come back or never went, right? Trying to get working adults and a little bit older adults back to school. And after the 2016 election, I became more concerned and interested in politics. I've always been a long-term voter, informed voter. But 2016 made me realize, like, I got to get in the game, more in the game. So I had a friend of mine who was on the city council. I talked to her. And I decided to run for the municipal council at large, which, as you may know, basically means Attleboro has ward councilors and at-large councilors. I ran for at-large and won, and really enjoyed the work. My legal background, I particularly liked writing and reviewing ordinances, which was very handy. Flash forward, Mayor Rowe signaled that he would be leaving sooner than later. And while I had not necessarily started this journey with the idea of becoming mayor, I liked the work. I thought I could do the work. And I said, this is an opportunity. If I pass it up, I don't know when the opportunity will come again. And I realized I thought I could do more for the residents and for the city in the capacity as mayor. So I jumped in, and I won the election, the special election to finish Paul's term. And then, as you know, ran again in November, and then now in the middle of my first full term. So that's kind of my journey as to how I got here. My life, Mike, I'm one of those people, I go where life kind of takes me. But here at City Hall, I have the experience of working with people who have been working for the city for 30 years, and their trajectory is so different than mine. But it's really fascinating that people have literally grown up in their jobs, or I've done a little of this, a little of that. So it's just different ways. But here I am, love the work. There's a lot of it, but I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, Mayor. I can tell you just kind of followed, where the path kind of led you. You just helping people, and that's kind of been what it sounds like you've been rooted in, is just helping people, and it's kind of led
Yes.
you to the mayor's office, which is really cool to hear. How old are your children now?
They are 19 and 18. My son's actually graduating from Attleboro High School this
Oh,
evening.
that is awesome.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
it's a
Congrats.
big day. Thank you.
Good stuff. All right, so I want to transition a little bit. My 5-year-old son Brady plays in the T-ball league, Attleboro Youth Baseball,
Yeah.
and we had the opening ceremonies, at the beginning of the season, and you had the first pitch, and it was a cannon, and you are a lefty. I want to talk about that. You impressed me with that. So, did you play sports growing up? Where'd that come
I
from?
did. I did. I was never great. I played basketball, softball in college, Mike. I played rugby. There was intramural rugby at URI. Never played before, but intramural, anybody can play. It was a blast. So much fun. I highly recommend rugby to anybody. It was a blast because the best part about rugby is after you play and you go hard, everybody goes out together. It's awesome. So yes, I dabbled in sports. I'm not good at anything, but I will try anything. I didn't know I would be throwing out the pitch. Leo Johnson, the chair of the rec commission, when that morning, right before the ceremony started, said, "Hey, you interested in throwing out the first pitch?" And I said, "Oh my, I can't get up there and embarrass myself. I've seen too many bad pitches thrown by celebrities and
Yes.
politicians." And I'm like, I am making it to the plate. My only regret, Mike, it hit the dirt a little too soon.
It's all right.
It was a little short,
It's all right.
but
The
it was
batter went
there.
down swinging. Yeah, he swung at the third strike, so it was fine.
It was there. So I was pleased, but I was not, it was like, I am not bouncing this pitch. There's no way.
That's
But I am, and as far as being a lefty, yes, I am a hardcore lefty. I'm not one of those people who can alternate.
yeah.
My right hand doesn't do a lot.
So if you're batting lefty. If you're swinging a golf club, you're swinging lefty.
All lefty,
All right.
yes. My brother makes fun of me quite often. He thinks it's weird, but I am all in on a lefty. And actually, on the council right now, I think there's 3 or 4 lefties,
Oh, wow.
which is pretty cool.
That's unusual. Yeah, go lefties.
We're an interesting group of folks, us lefties.
Love that. So you just mentioned your team. I want to talk about that. I want to ask you about the state of the city. Just you can just fill us in kind of a bigger picture. What is the state of the city right now?
So that's a good question, and there's a lot. There's various ways to answer that question. I would say the state of the city is good. We're growing. What's fascinating to me, Mike, I've been here 25 years, and people would move to Rhode Island to Attleboro, right? That's why I came. I couldn't afford the east side. So we came to Attleboro because it was affordable. Now we've literally got people moving from Boston and some of the suburbs down. That didn't used to happen. So we are still one of the more affordable municipalities in the area. The MBTA station is still what brings a lot of people here. So we are growing, and you in life, you adapt, you grow, you evolve, or you die. So we are happily growing. Our school enrollments in schools this year increased, which was not necessarily the case across the Commonwealth. So people are coming to the city. We have our brand new high school. We're building homes. We're about to embark on a huge project down at the MBTA station in what's called the Transit Oriented Development District, where we're going to take property. How long have you been in the city, Mike?
My wife and I built a brand new home in 2016.
Okay. So before you and I got here years ago, the area near the train station used to be like where our DPW was.
Yep.
And years before that, it had been used for various purposes, and there was a lot of nasty contaminants. So Mayor Judy Robbins looked over that and realized this is the center of the city. It can't be unusable. It can't be a distraction or a deterrent. So she decided to embark on a cleanup effort. Now, here we are 30 years later. It's clean and it is ripe for development. So we're looking at a mixed use. It'll be commercial on the bottom and 600 or so units of apartments on the top. So It's good for business. It gets us more residents, more foot traffic, more business. That's how things go, right? Businesses usually follow. You need people, and then the businesses will come. We're going to get both here, and it's going to bring a whole new level of life to the downtown. Downtown, we have some great new businesses. So we just Borrow Bagel, I'm thinking of on Bank Street. I know one of the young guys who opened it. It's awesome. I'm trying to think of the boba tea place. Morin's in their huge renovation. It's a good it's a good time to be in Attleboro. The challenges, if I'm being completely honest, are those that everybody's feeling. If your expenses are going up, Mike, the city's expenses are going up. I'm concerned about the current state of interest rates. That makes borrowing and buying some things challenging. I think we'll be fine. We were very conservative in this year's budget, anticipating that next year everybody's predicting is going to be quite bumpy. So that growth is an imperative. We have to grow. We cannot be a bedroom community. And I know some people don't like adding houses, or they don't want a house near me, get that whole NIMBY. But if we don't expand the pie, right, your property taxes are only going to go up. We need more people to contribute if we really want to maintain some kind of reasonable tax payments, if you will, or, so property taxes. So I'd say the state at Attleboro is good, but like a lot of municipalities, it's going to be a little bumpy, but we're on solid footing. We've got a lot of great folks working for the city and a fantastic finance team. So our money is in good order, but it's probably going to get a little tight, but we'll be okay.
Good. Yeah, you touched on it, but just anything else you'd like to add about the downtown revitalization project that's going on? How long will that take to get going?
Mike, it's been a long time coming. Since I've been in the city, change has been coming. Oftentimes, change comes slower than you want to for several reasons. Because some landlords don't live in the city, they don't have the same incentive to make the improvements and do the things. But there are some good things happening. A lot of it is relationships and relationship building, which is what I'm very much trying to do. So I think there are some things about to happen in the next few months. I don't want to say too much, but that I think downtown folks will be happy to see.
Very cool.
The lights, but Burgundy and Banditos. We're changing the vibe. It's just taking a little longer than we want. But if you look at pictures, Mike, 25 years ago,
completely different. Yeah, completely different.
Yeah.
I actually have looked at those pictures, so you're hit them on the head.
And let me point out, Mike, if I may, we often talk about downtown and Attleboro. Just to be completely fair, South Attleboro is the economic hub of the city. The businesses there and the taxes they pay drive a lot of the things we're able to do. We don't often give South Attleboro enough respect. The residents that are out there, Lee's Pond, beautiful neighborhoods, but the economic engine is really out there with some of the larger franchises and the other established businesses. So let's not, underappreciate what's going on with our friends down south.
Sure. I'm actually one of those residents. We hit up a bunch of businesses. We go right down the road to Briggs. Great stuff there.
Yeah, lots of good stuff.
Yeah, but you know what I also drive by every day is Locust.
Locust, yes.
Yes. So I've seen signs recently. Yeah. Thank you, Mayor, for saving Locust. When I first moved here, it was just the end of the golf course era. I was like, cool, this is going to be my home course. Awesome. And then boom, I was like, where'd it go? But can you just tell me real quickly what is happening with Locust? How did you save it? What was going to happen? What might be in the future for it?
Yeah,
I don't want to talk about a production happening right now.
I'll be happy to. And just for the record, I had nothing to do with those signs, but I'm grateful to the residents. I don't know that I've saved it. I've bought us time. If I may quickly, because this story has a long history. 30 years ago, Mayor Robbins, again, the city wanted to buy that property. We didn't have the money at that time to purchase the whole thing. So the city owned some of the parcels, as you may know, in the back, the protected land, the conservation land back there. It's city property. The property that is owned by, that we consider Locust Valley, when those people bought it, Mayor Robbins said, okay, let's talk. We can't buy it, but we want to basically make sure that you're not going to develop it. So they put a restriction on the deed, on a few parcels, deeds. And the restriction is that you can only use these parcels for a golf course or passive recreational use. even 30 years ago, the city wanted nothing to do with development over there. So the golf course runs. I went there a few times. It was a great little golf course, and I was sad to see it go. They decided to close their doors. I think it was in 2016. The deed restrictions that were in place in the 90s were 30-year restrictions. They are due to expire, one restriction in 2025, the other one in 2028. If those restrictions expire, the property owner would be able to put the property up for sale for any purpose, probably for a great subdivision, a large subdivision, which no one is really interested in, because even though Attleboro is a city, we really, really love our green and open spaces. That's what makes us kind of unique. Anyway, I knew the deed restrictions are coming up. Anybody who has any idea of the history of Locust Valley knows our interest in it and knows that the restrictions are expiring. I wanted to make sure that we extended them, so I had more time to talk with the property owner, who I know and respect, about how we could do this. So when I extended the restrictions for another 20 years, I wanted to give the city time to continue the conversation with the owner in hopes that we could figure out some fair way to acquire the property and keep it as the open and green, beautiful space that it is. And you'll notice the owner's David Bork, the family who owns it, they let people walk there. So they really they know what they have there, and they know what it means to the city. And I look forward to continue the conversation with them. So I just bought us time because that's such an awesome space. And I hope we can keep it green. That on top of the Highlands, we're blessed with this amazing green space, but yet at the same time, we're adding housing. So both things can be true, So that's a little bit of the history of Locust.
I love it. And there's actually a new chapter being written right now.
Yep.
You might call the property a little dead right now because
yes,
filming The Walking Dead, Dead City. Can you tell me, I drive by it at midnight on my ride home from work and I see the lights out there and they're filming. At least I think they are deep in the fields. But can you tell me kind of what that process was? Did they approach the city and obviously they had to pull permits and everything like that?
Yeah.
Massachusetts has been filming, getting a ton of crews over the last several years, but right here in Attleboro, that's pretty cool.
It is awesome. And so that's private property. I had nothing to do with that, right?
Okay.
The film company, I'm assuming they have some kind of agreement with the owner. But I was a Walking Dead fan, and that is perfect, right? You can see the zombies coming through the tall grass, so it's a great vibe. They must have an agreement with the property owner there. I don't know what it is,
Gotcha.
But it's a cool setting.
Yeah, it really is.
They did reach out to the city. They reached out through the park department to use the clubhouse at Highland Park. The way I understand it is Locust is the external shot of what I think they said is a boathouse in New York somewhere. Locust is the outside shot. Inside the clubhouse is the inside of the boathouse. So those two things go together.
Okay.
And I had the occasion to visit the clubhouse a couple of weeks ago, Mike, and it's been empty for like 6 or 7 years. But when you walk in there, it's like Disney World. The set design, every little detail. I wish I could take all the residents in there and charge them a small fee.
Yeah.
Because the transformation of what they did in there is mind blowing. It's the coolest thing. So we have an agreement with them. We are getting some money for use of the space, but it's just an exciting opportunity. I'd certainly welcome more of it. And it gets us on the map. But so that's where we are. They're here for a few more weeks at both locations. So it's really cool. And they scoped us out. I said, how did you find us? We have not one, but 2 vacant golf courses, and they're using both of them. So and you know what they do? They search records, they Google Earth, and they're like, yeah, this is exactly what we were looking for. So I'm happy to have them. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it really is. It's a good talker for the people in the city for sure. You've kind of touched on these, and this can be a short answer if you'd like, but any opportunities you see that would make Attleboro even better in its current standing right now? I love living here, but what else? Yeah.
Any more businesses, right? People first, businesses after. So encourage people to come to that. Like, look, I think Attleboro's best PR is its people, right? Like, bring your friends here, invite them to Mormons for dinner, or, tell them to go to Borough. Bring your friends and family in. Be positive. There's so much negativity on Facebook. We need to counter that with as much positivity as we can. Sign up for the city alert notification system. As newspapers decline and are almost extinct, people, I didn't know this is happening. I didn't know. The city notification system is how you can know what's happening. So share that with people that you know. But get out, frequent the businesses that you say you want. You've got to patronize some of these businesses, show them some love. So be invested. Be as invested in shopping and being in the city as you are in commenting. You know what I mean? Like, let's not be a Facebook warrior. Get on your feet and walk around downtown and spend some money, or go to South Attleboro and spend some money. Or go to a park and take a selfie and, help us sell the city.
Actions speak louder.
Everybody has a role, right, Mike? They look to my office, but this is a community. We all sell it. We're all part of it. So.
Right. Actions speak louder than words.
Yes.
And I actually had just signed up recently for those alerts, and myself and my two children, because my wife was at work, we went to the center of the city and we helped place the American flags. And
thank you.
I actually met your sister, and it was a really cool experience. So
yeah, I think that was my partner, Laura.
Oh, it was Laura.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I do have a sister, but that was Laura. Laura
Okay.
is a veteran. She's an Army veteran.
Yeah, I heard DeSimone. So, okay, very good. I met Laura then. Cool.
Yes.
But yeah, they had a really cool experience. I just saw the alert that actually just went out. And for the record, we are recording this on May 31st, 2024. So some of these references might be timed later, but just so everyone knows, May 31st, 2024. Yeah. All right, Mayor, a couple more questions, then I will let you go on your busy way because I know you are nonstop. What are you excited about for the rest of this year and into 2025?
Very much the transit-oriented development project that we talked about. 30 years in the making, and we're on the verge of it happening, and that is going to transform the downtown. The people, the life it's going to bring is going to be awesome. So that has definitely got to be number one on my list of things I'm excited about and looking forward to. I'm excited about the fact that we sold the old county high school on 135 County Street, the old high school. We have another city school building that I'm trying to sell and turn that into housing. So, Mike, there's a lot of opportunity. My challenge is finding the time. There's a lot I want to do and get done, but I think we're so rich in opportunity. We just got to grab it. We got to grab it. And now, particularly because of the potential financial challenges coming, we need to generate as much revenue as we can and be very mindful in ways that we could save. And contrary to what people think, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm not throwing money. That's not how I am. I live for frugal existence personally. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty frugal on this side too. So it's about seizing opportunity and maximizing efficiencies. And there's a lot of it. And I'm excited to do it. I need more time. Like I need more time in the day.
Right.
Right.
Good stuff. All right. So we're going to end this with a little lightning round. First answer that comes to your head, 5 quick questions, and then you are free. When it comes to ice cream, vanilla or chocolate?
Mint chocolate chip. How is that not an option?
Okay. All right. Fine, man.
I got to tell you, mint chocolate chip. I'm lifelong mint chocolate chip lover.
All right. Fine. I love it. I like mint chocolate chip as well. Dogs or cats?
Both.
Sold.
We've had, Mike, when I had 11 pets.
Oh, wow.
Which cats, dogs, guinea pigs, rabbits. Guinea pig, rabbit. And so right now we've got 2 mutts because we lost our 2 cats in the last few months. So both.
Love it. Good answer. Favorite kind of food? I won't put you on the spot for favorite restaurant in the city because they're all good. Favorite kind of food?
Oh, that's a hard one because I like everything. Geez, favorite kind of food? Oh, depends on the day.
All right.
I love sushi. I like Hong Kong Treasures downtown. They've got great sushi. Borough bagels are the best. They're soft and bready. Banditos. It depends on the day of the week, man. It depends on the day.
All right. Fair enough. What is your ideal vacation? A beach getaway, skiing in the mountains, something else?
I'm a beach person. I spent a lot of summers on the shore of Rhode Island. We have a small beach house in Matunic. Yep. So ocean all the way, beach all the way.
Love it. And one thing most people don't know about you that you're willing to share that would start a conversation on the streets?
I worked on the back of a garbage truck.
Love that.
When I was in college, I had a summer job, me and my brother, and I worked on the back of a garbage truck, Mike.
Wow.
And it was hard work. But you know what the best part was? That was one of those jobs where the faster you went, the earlier you got out. And I realized then, right? You want to incentivize people Tell them you can go home as soon as your work's done.
Right.
And they'll get the work done very quick. We'll be home at 12:30 having lunch. They just wanted the trash off the street as soon as possible. And if it took you 3 hours or 4, you were done. And that was a valuable lesson. It was also humbling to see some of the stuff that people throw out. But I really value that experience.
Love that. Thank you so much, Mayor DeSimone. I know you're super busy. I really appreciate you sharing time with me.
This has been very awesome. I appreciate you doing this for the city. And if there's something I can do to promote your show, let me know.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
I really hope you enjoyed our conversation with Mayor DeSimone. We are just getting started here on the Life in Attleboro podcast, and it would mean so much if you hit that subscribe button and leave me a 5-star review. And most importantly, tell a friend or family member who lives in our great city. Share this episode with them. Get them to subscribe. And if you think you know someone who would make a great guest on our podcast, someone who's making a difference in our community, or just has a really cool story to share, please shoot us an email at lifeinattleboro@gmail.com. That's lifeinattleboro@gmail.com. And most importantly, make sure you sign up for our email list. The Life in Attleboro community is growing extremely fast. So if you always want to be in the know about events happening in our great city, be among the first to find out about brand new podcast episodes, and most importantly, if you want to save some money and support the great businesses and restaurants in Attleboro, you gotta sign up for the email list. You can do that by going to lifeinattleboro.com. You'll see the sign up display right there on our homepage. That's it for today, everyone. Life in Attleboro is a great thing. Support our community, promote positivity, and make a stranger smile. Have a great day. We'll see you in the next episode of the Life in Attleboro podcast.